have a panel of students that I'm going to turn over to Laura after. So if you want to, I'm Aurora Petrolini, and I'm a teacher at Southington High School.
Hi, I'm Lily Falchuk. I'm a teacher at Southington High School and an adjunct teacher at Tunxis.
From the last year's meeting.
Greg Candace, I'm program coordinator for engineering and technology.
Austin D. Mathis, I'm an attorney who also teaches a full-time course load on some of the law programs here.
Amy Best. I am marketing instructor, and I am also the business administration program coordinator starting this semester. Lori Burbridge, accounting and finance teacher at Bristol Central High School.
Sharon Jakes, I'm a teacher at Bristol Eastern High School.
Paul Abatello, accounting instructor here at Tunxis.
Laura Gambino, I'm a program coordinator of the Computer Information Systems Computer Science program and the ePortfolio coordinator for the college. And what we have here today is we're going to do a little bit of what we call a fishbowl discussion. And we've got these 6 students who have volunteered to join us. And I'm going to be asking them some questions about the transition from high school to college. And so what I'm going to ask is that for the first 20, 25 minutes, we're just going to be talking. If you could jot down any questions you have or take away ideas, things you've heard that are useful to you, that would be great. But I'm going to ask that you just let us kind of have a conversation, and then we'll open it up to questions at the end. Make sense? Make sense to you guys? Okay, so first of all, thank you all for coming. You all volunteered to do this, and we really appreciate it. And we're going to kind of turn the tables. Today, you get to teach all of us, right? So the idea is that we're here to learn from all of you. So the first thing I'm going to ask is we're going to go around from left to right. If you could just tell me your name, your major, and where you went to high school.
My name's Deanna Lafreniere. My major is accounting, and I went to Bristol Central High School.
Okay.
My name is Raymond Arsenal. I plan to be a civil engineer, and I went to Simsbury High School.
My name is Luke Krasik. My major is computer science, and I went to Southington High School.
My name is Yasmin Sarakovic. My major is business administration, and I went to Wolcott High School.
My name is Pedro Diaz. My major is business, and I went to New Britain High School.
My name is Adam Martin. My major is business, and I went to Wolcott Technical High School.
Is this all your first semester here at Tunxis? No. Third semester. Great. So you're going to bring a little different perspective to this. So how's it been so far?
It's all right.
Yeah, and any of you can answer, and we'll go around, or you can raise your hand. It doesn't matter. It's all right?
Yeah.
You're still here, right? It's October 27th. You're all still here. That's a good sign, right? So is it different from high school? Oh, yeah? Wait.
Way different.
Tell me how it's way different from high school.
I don't know. It's just different. It's a different environment.
More freedom.
Yeah.
What's the biggest challenge you've had so far?
Well, I'm basically doing this, I feel like, more on my own because I don't really know anyone here that I went to high school with. So it's I go home and then I just do homework. I don't have anyone else to study with or compare any homework with or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it a lot more difficult instead of having being able to go to a study hall or a study group or something with friends that you've known for a long time.
Okay, that's interesting.
A challenge is probably going home and getting them over, because it's you go to work too, and then you got a whole separate life. So
has juggling ask this to anybody, and we'll come back to what the biggest challenge is, but is juggling work and school, for any of you that work, is that a challenge?
Yeah. It's difficult.
Yeah. How many of you work? Yeah. Okay. About how many hours do you work a week?
15.
I work 32 to 34 hours a week.
25, 30.
18, 20.
Okay. How many credits are you taking?
I'm taking 12.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
About how many classes?
I'm taking 4 in a chem lab.
And a chem lab. So you're taking about 13 credits and working 30 hours a week?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's 2 full-time jobs. Okay. How many credits?
This semester I'm taking 12 credits.
12 credits.
I don't even know.
So you're all full-time students, and you're all working. Okay. What's the biggest challenge you found?
Well, I came here with my best friend, so I just wanted to experience.
Is this your best friend?
No.
Okay, just checking.
I just found it.
Okay.
Well, I just want the experience of like how college is, and then hopefully transfer somewhere else, maybe a bigger university, just to get like used to the work stuff.
Luke, what's the biggest challenge for you so far?
For me, it's the independent study, doing homework. It's so much different from high school. In high school, I wouldn't do much homework. I just went to class, sat through the class, pay attention to the teacher, and I could ace a test anytime. Here, if I don't do homework or I don't study at home, it's getting difficult.
Okay, especially when you have teachers that don't give tests and only rely on homework?
Yes, definitely.
Interesting.
Time management is an issue, just because I work so many hours a week.
Yeah, I can see that.
I procrastinate on work sometimes.
Me too. So, let me ask you this. Was there anything you learned in high school, like outside of just subject areas, was there anything that was helpful from your high school in preparing you for college? Oh. Okay, let me rephrase this. So is there anything, you're 7, 8 weeks into the semester, was there anything you wish your high school teachers had told you about coming to college, or high school teachers or your high school guidance counselors? Is there anything they could have done to kind of prepare you better?
Could have given me a little bit of a heavier workload.
A heavier workload.
We didn't really have that much homework.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming here, it's like I have to do sometimes like a paper a week along with other things just for one class.
Mhm.
So it becomes like, it's a bigger change from high school. It's kind of like a lot to deal with because I really used to procrastinate in high school even with the little homework I had.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Now, I have to ask you this though. Did you complain in high school that you had too much homework?
no, I just complained about the homework in general.
Okay.
So.
All right, because I have a daughter in high school, and she's always complaining that she has too much homework, and I keep going, just wait. But that's interesting. So
And I-
not enough homework.
And I totally agree with Adam.
Yeah.
It was just easy. I was able to actually finish my homework while still in school, so outside. I can do whatever I want now. Being in college, time management is obviously a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I think it's not necessarily that the homework is like all that difficult here compared to high school, but I think just it's a lot more tedious and it's a lot more drawn out. Like what Adam said, like you have a paper, but then you also have like a good hour and a half of math homework to do like every week, and so just like finding like such a big time slot to do all that in is.
So when did you do your homework in high school?
Never study hard.
If you did homework, when did you do? So you did it in school.
Study halls.
Yeah, study halls are like the main place to do homework because no one wants to bring homework home. So.
Right. No, I get that. I don't like to bring homework home either, so you know. So when you have big breaks in your classes, though, now, do you stay in the library or stay on campus, or do you tend to go home?
Straight home.
Straight home. So if you had a class at 10 and then a class at, let's say, 2 or 3, you would go home in between?
I wouldn't even have class like that though.
Okay. So you're saying there's no kind of time in your day where you set aside study time or homework time?
No, at the end of the day,
Okay.
or if I don't have anything else to do, then
Okay.
just get it over with.
Okay. So you wanted more homework from your high school teachers.
I think school in high school and here in high school it was not that serious. Now it's more serious, because everything's for yourself, it's financial aid. In school it was just to me it was mad chill. I never did my homework. All I did was go to class, and when I went if there was a class and I would not go for a week, I would go the other week and they would still be teaching what they was teaching 2 weeks before that.
Mm-hmm.
So here is you miss one day, you miss the lesson. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you
in high school it was you could just chill. You didn't
skip
even
a
have
day
to
to
go
give
to
your
class.
absence homework.
Yeah.
If you skip a day here, then you miss the whole
You
lesson.
hit.
Like, basically.
Oh. So you think your high school teacher should have been harder on you?
I think the education should have been more serious.
Yeah.
To prepare you for college, because it's like in my high school, it was like you just chill. Like once you went to college, you was like, damn, I gotta get to doing my work. This shit crazy.
So you felt like your high school teachers kind of let you coast through?
Yeah, like I don't know. I think they were just there to get paid. Like they didn't even care. Like they was like teach something, and like if nobody would get it, like you know, like now, like how you call it? Like the teacher would like explain it, even if nobody would have questions. She would like go over it, so make sure everybody understands or whatever. Like nobody got questions. Alright, they keep it moving. Like they don't. It's just like mad chill. Like it's not like you don't do no work, and then they'll be like, oh, did you do it? Or like I didn't do it, and lie, and that's it.
And that doesn't happen here?
Nah, it does. Like I don't know. I feel like here is better. Like it's like if you don't understand something, you can ask, and then but even if you don't ask, the teacher will still go over it. So because you know how there's some kids that like if they don't get it, they'll be kind of confused about something, but they won't be totally confused. But then they'll be like, let me just ask this, so and then to get it out the way, and then they're asking, you understand it better. In high school, it's just like, nah, like, it's totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Can you add anything to that? I don't know if there's any follow-up to that.
You practically summed it all up.
So,
it's really not, I can't blame it on the teachers. Maybe it's like on us.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't serious in high school. Over here, it's like a whole different atmosphere. A lot more serious, more homework, studying.
So would it have been helpful to have that kind of atmosphere in high school?
I mean, they tried to give it to us, but it's...
Were you maybe just not ready?
Yeah.
I noticed a difference in high school. Like, I was just a normal academic student, and my sister's an accelerated AP student, and so she tells me all of this work she has, and it's like, it's just the same like here.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think in high school they just push those students that can get into those AP classes, and they're not focused on the academic students.
Right, kind of that track below the AP.
If you're not accelerated,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even care, because my sister, she gets so much work, and I'm like, first of all, I feel bad for her, and I'm like, she shouldn't be in that position because that's college level stuff,
Mm-hmm.
not high school.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting, though, that you notice the difference between the two kind of levels. But you're laughing. Do you want to add anything?
I've noticed that at college, it's a lot more nose to the grindstone kind of thing. Like, it's not even that you're expected to do something. It's just put on you. Like, I'm here because I'm paying for college. So like, I want to get this work done because I paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like in high school, you can just do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Do you think there was something your teachers in high school could have done differently to help you get ready for this?
Probably not, to be honest. I really that's just something that's learned. Like you just have to come here and kind of experience it,
Mm-hmm. Okay, a couple more questions.
Can I add to this?
Of course.
When I was in high school, my senior year, I took 3 AP courses.
Mm-hmm.
I was taking physics. That was 2 periods every day for the whole year. It was a lot of homework.
Mm-hmm.
Day by day, I would have to sit for 2 hours. 2 hours in school, then 2 hours at home every day doing just physics. And on top of that, I had other stuff. That's what kind of prepared me a little bit for college.
Mm-hmm.
But other courses, like he mentioned, teachers ask you if like you do your homework, or they just keep coming after you if you don't do your homework. In my AP courses, the teachers were pretty much like professors in college. They don't ask you if you did your homework. If you did it, cool. If you didn't, too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna show up on the test that you didn't do your homework.
So it would have been helpful to have a little
It's
bit
like-
more of that mindset in your other courses?
Even though someone's not taking an AP course,
Mm-hmm.
other courses should have just like the same way of doing stuff.
All right.
My teachers didn't check homework. They assigned it, and they expected that you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever didn't do the homework, they did poorly on the test. So that was good.
That was good. Anybody else have anything to add before I ask my next? I have 2 more questions. So if you were going to tell a high school senior, say you had the chance to talk to high school seniors, and tell them one thing they should do this year, in their senior year, to prepare themselves for college, what would it be?
Don't give up on doing work, because that's what a lot of people do. They get the senioritis.
Yes.
And they just think like, all right, well, I'm going to college, like high school's almost done, like I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Mhm.
And then it ends up turning out like bad because you don't really care anymore and you start to procrastinate and like you kind of let yourself go a little bit with schoolwork. And then once you hit college, it's like kind of like a shock in the beginning, you know, and then eventually you start to like learn like your workload, but just definitely not let go of that.
Don't slack off. Okay.
I'll just be like, continue on doing, like if you're just a senior, continue on doing what you was doing in the beginning of the year to the end. Because like he said, like once you start hitting that, like the middle of the year, like you just start slacking off. You just be like, man, it's almost the end of the year. I'm about to graduate, and you don't even think about, you know what I mean? Like college is actually like not so long away, but it's like you be like, man, I got all this time, like, and you just don't even, you just slack off and be like, I'm about to graduate, I'm good.
No, I hear you. I understand
Yeah, I
that.
agree with the senior slide, senioritis. Got to keep up your work.
Keep up the work.
So like when you start slacking off, it becomes a habit. It's hard to get rid of.
Makes it harder to start back up
Yeah.
in September. And did your
Yeah.
teachers here cut you any slack? Did we ease you into it, into the work?
I feel like a little bit. In the
little bit.
beginning, it wasn't like for some of my classes, it was kind of like the homework was sustained like throughout the past couple weeks, but the work in the beginning was kind of like just, especially if it's an introductory class, it's like just teaching you like a little bit, and then here's like an introductory homework, like you're kind of learning, and then eventually it's like you should have an understanding, so we're gonna give you like harder things.
Okay.
I came into class getting ready to write an essay right away,
Mhm.
taking math notes, getting math
Mhm.
homework.
Mhm. So one thing you could tell high school seniors.
Yeah, I definitely say don't procrastinate. Like once you start procrastinating, it's, I don't know,
Yeah, this is all
possible to
downhill.
stop. Yeah.
Take advantage of your resources. If you're having trouble, there's an academic support center. Take advantage of the professor's office hours. As long as you do that, then the workload shouldn't seem as difficult. It should be easy.
All right, I lied. I have more than one more question. Did your guidance offices help you at all with selecting Tunxis or coming here or telling what you needed to know to get started here? That's just a yes or no.
Not for Tunxis, but I believe guidance is like the only people that did like try to tell us about how college is going to be for us,
So
and
you're-
like still didn't take it seriously enough.
Would you have taken it, do the rest of you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so two questions from that. Would it have been helpful if your guidance counselors had helped you come here instead of just focusing on other schools? Would that have made it easier for you?
Wouldn't make a difference.
No?
I don't really understand the question.
Well, okay, did your guidance office help you at all in getting set and doing whatever you needed to do to come here?
It was just kind of like, here's what you have to do to send out your application and do what you want, pretty much. It was just like, he was so busy with other kids and like what they were doing. It wasn't very personalized at all.
So would that personal touch have helped you? Do you think it would have made
Definitely, it
things
would have
easier?
helped me with like choices and like what I actually need to do to prepare, not just like you need to send out your essay for your school and like your application to all these schools and like at this time instead of.
Do you guys agree? Would it have been nice to have some?
I kind of feel like I went to Simsbury High School, and I kind of feel like our guidance department did a really good job at
Good.
trying to prepare us for college. And I agree. I really think that that was like the only department that was trying to help us to prepare for college.
So would it have been helpful if some of your actual classroom teachers would have told you more, helped you more?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this one final question. If you could tell your high school teachers one thing, or if there's one thing they could have done, no.
Oh,
let me finish the sentence. Larry phrased that now.
I got
If
excited.
your high school teachers could have done one thing differently to help you prepare for college, what would it be? If you could tell them to do one thing differently this year, what would you tell them? I'm going to start over here this time.
I'm still thinking.
Okay, so I'll start over here. You have to think.
Yeah, I had to think.
Okay, anybody? What would you tell your high school teachers?
Made it to college.
You made it? Yeah. Is there anything, though, you would tell them to help make it easier for this year's high school seniors?
I think I would tell them like to start like getting into like their head like at the beginning of the year, because all they ever asked me was like, are you planning to go to college? That's all they ever asked me. For me, like, but I think they should get them in that like college mentality, thinking about doing all them steps early in the year, because like me, I kind of waited like to like February, and I ain't get my acceptance letter till like June. And like before that, I wanted to know if I got accepted. So I would think it'd be better like to get them going earlier, early in the year instead of waiting till last minute.
See, I got accepted into like Central and all the universities in the middle of the summer. It was too late for me because I waited until like March to sign up and everything and get everything done.
So it would be helpful if your teachers,
again, with time
guidance
management.
counselors were getting you started earlier in the year. Okay, good. Anything else? Okay, anything else you want to say before I turn it over to them?
I think that if the guidance counselors would make us do like the acceptance letters, full acceptance letters, fill out all the stuff for college, our sophomore year, junior year, instead of just like let us do it senior year. Then maybe you would be more prepared to know what to do, how to fill it out when the time comes.
Was that part of your senioritis? Like you got into that mode and just let everything slide, including the college application?
I was procrastinating.
All right, I lied. I have another question. But I get to, because I'm in charge right now. Orientation. Did any of you attend our orientation?
I did.
Yep.
Yes.
Was that helpful?
I mean, I took a math recap class, and I mean, it was helpful, except for the math that I learned in that class didn't have anything to do with the class that I was taking this year.
Oh.
So, I mean, the math itself kind of gave me like a little bit of background, but other than that, like the class I took didn't do anything for me.
Okay. Anybody else at orientation?
I don't think any of the information that I learned at orientation was useful at all. Like, I remember I did like a time management one, and it was just like, all right, now how many hours of the day do you sleep? And it's like, I mean, I can do that on my own, but it just kind of got me into the college mentality.
Was there anything that should have been covered at orientation that would have been more helpful? Like, because I mean, you identified time management as an issue you have, and you went to the session, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't helpful.
Okay. Anybody? Did you get to meet your like your program coordinator or your advisor that day? Was that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I missed my orientation.
That's okay. I missed the orientation too. So I didn't tell anybody. I wouldn't have known had you not said it.
Oops.
Was it helpful to meet your advisor? Do you feel like you're the person, that's someone you can go talk to if you have questions? Or no? Do you all know where your advisor's
I
office
still
is?
don't even know where mine is.
Okay, you guys know registration is coming up next week,
Yeah,
right?
that's why.
Okay, so it's time to go find your advisor's office.
See, I don't talk to my advisor. I just go there to sign up for classes, and that's about it.
So what do you think the role of your advisor is?
To get you your classes.
It's the same one from like the one that you did at the beginning of the year, right? That helped you pick out your classes.
It depends on who helped you pick out your classes initially.
I don't even know his name. I know it was just some tall black dude. He's like, where the financial office is at?
We sometimes refer to him as Dean Peters, but
he was a dean. I don't know his name though.
Well, now if you're in a program, what's your major? Are you business?
Yeah,
you'll have one of the business faculty.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I remember he had a bike. He had a big bike in his office.
We refer to him as Dean Peters.
I gotta learn
It's
that.
okay. All right, good. So we're gonna have to give all of you a lesson on advising on another day, because I think we do a little more than help you pick your classes. Okay.
The first advisor I had, it wasn't my major advisor. Wasn't useful at all. She was in English department advisor. so she pretty much helped me pick out English classes and like English related stuff, but nothing from computer science.
So would it have been helpful when you registered for the first time if you had met one of the faculty in your program?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes. And how many of you are in, I guess all of you are, right, at least one course in your major this semester? Yes. Is that helpful? Does it feel like, all right, you're on your way in your program?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to turn it over to people here. I saw people taking notes, so I don't know if anybody has questions for anybody. I mean, first of all, you guys did a fabulous job. Thank you very much. But does anybody have questions? Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. This is just wonderful for us to hear. Picture you're back as a senior in high school. You haven't done your homework. And you take a 1-minute walk with me privately out in the hallway. I'm a very approachable teacher. What is the one thing I can say that will get through to you to let you know that I am not giving you a difficult time for the sake of giving you a difficult time, that I'm really trying to help prepare you for what to expect when you go to college, and that is why it's necessary for you to do your homework.
Wait till college is the one thing I would say.
Okay.
To keep it like short and like blunt.
So do you think this is bad wait till you get to college?
I mean, I guess that's what I would say to someone, because I mean, I don't know if anyone else would agree.
I would say you're just setting yourself up for failure. I wouldn't want to hear that.
Can I ask you something? Would you have listened in high school? Would you have listened last year to that?
After going to my freshman year of college, probably.
But you're not in your freshman year of college. I think that's what you're in. Is there anything she could have said to you as a senior in high school that would have made a difference?
Probably not.
Maybe we should show them this video and see if that helps. Any other questions?
I actually had a question. I was very interested in what they had to say when you asked them what could we have done on the high school level to better prepare them for college, because Deanna was my student for 2 years at Bristol Central. So maybe it's directed directly towards her, not only the whole group, but can you tell me on the high school level, specifically with accounting, what is it that we could do on the high school level for the accounting program to better prepare you for your courses that you're taking here at Tunxis? And did the College Career Pathways program prepare you for what you experienced when you first got here?
Well, I haven't taken like the hardcore accounting classes yet here, but Jeremy, he took intermediate accounting, and what he was telling me, he doesn't know what's an asset, what's a liability. Well, he does, but like certain account.
Really?
He switches major.
Oh, okay.
But you know, it's confusing sometimes. Like there's like obviously in accounting, there's so many accounts, and to remember which one's assets and which one's liabilities, you just get confused sometimes. So.
Is there anything differently that we could do when teaching you to better prepare you for these programs?
Teachers.
Maybe so. Like I'm thinking in terms of types of assignments, types of tests, whether they do lectures or give you projects, things like that. And this could go. Anybody can answer that.
Yeah, with the projects, like you know how we did our simulation. I really love doing that. It gives you a hands-on experience. Like the book, sometimes I just get lost. But when I'm actually like doing it like on a computer, I can see what are the transactions. You know, this is a debit, this is a credit, and how to input it. Yeah.
Anybody else? Any college faculty have questions? Yes, Costa.
I'd just like to know, is the style of teaching different here than it is in your high school?
Yeah, you have different professors.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have different professors and the way they teach the subjects.
How does it compare in high school to college? Can you tell me some of the differences that you like or dislike?
Adam, do you want to say?
I think they treat you more like adults here, and in high school they kind of look at you like as, I think, more as kids or like teens. And I know one of the teachers I have like talks to the whole class as if like they're, I mean, not necessarily equal, but like adults and, you know, older people that can like understand. And I don't know, just the way that he teaches and talks to us is just different than the high school level.
Is it talking with versus talking to?
Yeah,
Is that how you
it's
say
not
it?
like talking down to someone, it's like talking with someone and like relating through like stories and like, you know, just basically being very personal in class.
How about the rest of you? Is there different lectures, hands-on work, any differences you see between the way your high school teachers delivered course material and college teachers?
Yeah, I think in high school it was more just kind of like teachers just wrote whatever on the board, like whatever they were trying to get to, they just kind of wrote it down and you just had to take notes on it. It's like, but that didn't really mean all that much, you know. I think it's better here because we do a bit more hands-on. Like in my engineering class, we've done 2 projects already. It's like in high school we didn't do any, we just took notes for a semester. So.
Okay, did you want to add anything?
No.
I think in high school, most teachers have the same teaching style, where here in college, every professor adds something different, has their own way of teaching. Like,
Me?
for example, you.
Well, this is scary.
Yeah, you do make jokes, you talk with students, which is...
Don't tell them that, they think I'm mean.
No, I like that. You get the students to actually talk, ask you questions, where some other teachers are just like to give you notes, give you lectures. They don't want students to ask the questions, really. Where other teachers add their personal life stories, which is also helpful. I don't know, I like it here better than high school.
Good.
I don't really have a question, but I think I just have a comment.
Sure.
I think the outlook becomes different when you go to college. I know that I teach business classes in high school. I tell students all the time, wait till you get to college. You don't have someone reminding you, do your homework. It becomes more on your own. And you do get treated a little bit differently because you are younger. You're not quite have reached that adult point yet. So I think your outlook changes when you go to college. You know that there's not going to be someone there saying, you didn't do your homework. Well, you didn't do your homework, you don't get a good grade on the test, but that's on you. It now becomes more your responsibility. And I think as a teacher, a high school teacher, you really put that effort into saying to those students, do your homework, it's important. Not only does it help you get credit for doing homework, but it also helps prepare you for a test. But now that I'm teaching like a college course, I don't tell my college students, you know, oh, you gotta do your homework, you gotta do your homework. It becomes more on them. But I think as you transition, your whole outlook changes. I don't know if you see that or not, but I think your outlook changes. That's the comment I have just from hearing little bits of the conversation.
I totally agree, and I think we see it, especially for those who are in your first semester. From the day you walk into our class until the day you leave our class at the end of the first semester, we can see that. Where in the beginning you kind of need your hand held a little bit more, and we don't want to do that. And by the time at the end of this first semester, you pretty much don't need your hand held anymore. So I think you're right. It is a mental shift, and it just until you're living it and experiencing it, I'm not sure that your high school teachers, I think they even drilled it into you with, you know, strobe lights and you kind of have to be there. You have to. It's like, you know, you can't learn to be a parent until you have your own kid. I mean, there's certain things you can't learn to do until you do it.
I've seen some looks around here, so I'm not sure you've convinced the students of that, though.
Yeah, but we see it. We really do see it. It is amazing from day one. And you guys do see it, because look to your left and look to your right in class, and you'll see kids that couldn't make that transition, and they stopped coming. You guys that are making that transition are continuing, you'll see your grades improve. But I have a question. I know in college, we tend to rely a lot on technology. We expect you to go in my class, take quizzes online. They're not even taken in the classroom. Your syllabus is online. Your assignments might be online. You might submit your assignments online. We communicate through email. Is that a huge transition from high school? Are high school teachers doing that?
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Yeah, maybe I've been worried. I just didn't know for what.
Remember, we've got a couple different high schools here, and there was a pretty solid no.
I mean, this, I just didn't know if that was a huge thing, because I think that's a lot of the onus is on you. You have to go find that.
Go ahead, Jan.
What I do like about the tests or quizzes, it's online, so you can have your book out in front of you, so it makes it a little bit easier. So you don't have to remember everything. So I've had that for several of my classes.
But like in high school, you would never have anything.
No, it would be like on a piece of paper, silence. Right.
So was, like, I assume, have all of you used or seen Blackboard in any of your
Yeah.
courses? Was that a big transition? Was that hard for you?
It made it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's not really hard.
So you don't find the technology hard?
No,
No, because they kind of
Class-
explain that in orientation, right? You kind of walk through Blackboard, so it didn't make it hard at all.
Okay.
Classes that use Blackboard are a lot easier. I only have one class. My other 3 classes aren't on the computer or anything. They don't have anything listed, so it makes it a lot harder.
So you guys like having Blackboard?
And it's good because if you forget to write down the notes, it's right there on Blackboard. You can print out the notes. Most teachers do that.
Good.
For at least my professors.
Excellent. All right. Anything else? I think we're just about out of time. You guys didn't think we were going to be up here for 30 minutes, and we had no problem doing that. Thank you guys very much. You guys were fabulous. What? One more.
I wanted to tell you that with Lillian and I, we're both graduates of Tunxis. So I remember, I mean, even though I'm pretty old, but I remember going to high school, and I wasn't motivated at all in high school. So the teacher could have told me 1,000 times to do my work, and I just wasn't motivated. When I started college at Tunxis, that the motivation came, and I think a lot of it, I hate to say, had to do with I was paying my way through college. So when I paid that bill, whatever it was, I didn't want to lose my money. So I was like really working, and I was working with the teachers all the time, and I was going to be successful no matter what. You know, then I went on to become a teacher, and I love it. But we've always worked with Tunxis because we think it's a fantastic base, and I'm really proud of you guys because you sound pretty solid right now.
Yes, I think for students that are.
I think accountability is a big issue. You're accountable. You are accountable. I've been there, done that. I'm a graduate of Tunxis too. And yes, we go through the material and whatnot, but ultimately you are accountable. I will never follow you around. You do homework, you do this. That's on you. It's time to grow up with that and accept responsibility and accountability. And if you keep doing that as you are doing, you will be successful. And it's nice. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you all very much. I think you're all going to be very successful here. So I look forward to kind of keeping an eye on you guys over the next few years, especially you in my program. So thank you. How about we give them a big round of applause? You guys are fabulous. Thank you.